This is Where We Go, Episode 4. This is Where She Goes, written by Gina Femia.
We made it out alive. You don't understand, Amelia Rose. We made...
This is Where We Go, Episode 4. This is Where She Goes, written by Gina Femia.
We made it out alive. You don't understand, Amelia Rose. We made it out alive. Yeah, I know we did, but okay, fine. I mean, okay, so Mom's always going on, you should be happy we made it out alive. And I'm like, it literally doesn't matter to me if we did or not. I don't remember it. All I remember is this. Our cube on this ship. The ship, our home. For my 16 years, this. I don't remember how life changed, because this is life. This ship, these people gliding through. Sometimes she'll be like, you don't remember air? And I'm like, I know I don't. So, whatever. She teaches me about air, about the sun. And I listen. I hear her, but sometimes there's something deeper in her, she gets frustrated that I don't get it. What's there to really get? The sun disappeared and everyone had to leave and we left. That's all there is to it, right? She misses it, I think. The sun. Not being on this ship. There was a time in the first few years, apparently everyone was just waiting it out. Clinging to the idea of a normal to go back to, which feels, I don't know, dumb. Because once the big sun and all the other suns and the stars all burned themselves out, it kind of meant that that version of normal didn't exist anymore, right? Or everyone got on this ship thinking that there was going to be another planet with a different sun, which is also dumb because Earth was the only one of its kind. I don't know. I don't get it. Most of the oldies up here, they hate it. You can tell. Honestly, it's funny. Mom would yell at me for saying that, but I don't care. It is. Just because it's mean don't make it not true, you know? The oldies get so angry about everything. Talk about the past like it's a song. Talking about things like gravel and lawns and streams and oceans and mud and all that. It all sounds great, but how am I supposed to miss something I never got? This is fine. I like it here. It's my home. I guess Mom feels bad for the oldies because she misses it all too. She's just not as angry. She's sad, but not angry. They're angry, but not sad. Even though the two wrap themselves around each other sometimes. Sometimes I think they might be like socks. Emotions. Anger and sadness specifically. That they're actually the same thing, but different. Like socks are the same. Anyway, look, this assignment sucks and is dumb, and I don't think I should be forced to write in a journal. Ugh, I hate it. Write down your thoughts and feelings and junky, crappy garbage like that. It'll be good for you. Yeah, okay, what am I supposed to write about? You'll know it when you write it. Ugh, whatever. Everyone thinks we're the only life left in the entire galaxy, but I think that that's dumb too. Mom says that that's what people thought before different beings started going down to Earth. That humans and animals and bugs and plants were the only species to exist. As though Earth was the center of the universe or something. Weird. There's that ship that's floating nearby us. Only been in our orbit for a couple of weeks, but Mom says it's old. As old as us. From some cult called the Order of the Sun or something. She recognizes it from Earth. It wanders, but it's different than us. It don't seem like it knows where it's going. It just floats. Silent. Most people think it's just abandoned floating space junk, but I don't know. I don't know, because sometimes I swear I can see some glimmer inside. Out of the corner of my eye, shadowy figures moving past the windows, and maybe, just maybe, it's a ship full of ghosts wandering along, trying to find their way back home.
Hi, honey.
Mom, what the hell?
Oh, what? Should I knock?
It would be appreciated. I'm busy.
It's time for dinner.
Already?
What are you doing? Are you writing something?
No, I'm not writing. Just doing a dumb assignment.
You look like you were totally in the zone.
I was not.
All serious and concentrating.
I look the way I always look when I'm doing a stupid assignment. Leave me alone.
All right, come set the table.
Can't. Totally in the zone.
Come on, I'm hungry.
I don't know why we still eat food. We can just take the supplement.
Yeah, but eating food is great.
Yeah, but then I wouldn't have to set the table.
I'll see you in the kitchen.
Setting the table is worth eating food, I guess.
Yeah, I think so. So, Alexander Anderson had their babies today.
Don't.
What? It's a nice thing.
I don't want to think about like birthing fluids and gunk sacks and shit while I'm eating food, please.
Oh, come on. It's not that gross.
You're right. It's disgusting.
Well, okay, fine. I guess we'll just rule out you being a medic.
1,000,000% yes. I'm going to be an agricultor.
But wouldn't it be fun to work together every day?
Mom, we live together. We don't have to work together too.
Break my heart.
Yeah. Hey, have you ever heard of things called time portals?
Time portals? No, never. Sounds science fiction-y.
Well, they're not. One of the scientists came to talk to class about them.
Ooh, that sounds like fun.
It wasn't fun. It was informative.
Science can be fun.
In what dimension?
I like science.
You're a medic. You have to like science.
Mm-hmm. It helps. Pass the salt. So, what are time portals?
I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention. I mean, Dr. Monroe said something like, they're like rare pockets of time-space stuff in the spectrosphere that like mess with time, and there's evidence and there's some around or whatever.
Really?
Yeah, in our orbit even.
Wow.
Yeah, apparently the scientists have been actively looking for them because there's some dumb theory that if we can find a time portal and go through it, then there's a chance that we'll wind up somewhere back in time. And so we might wind up back on Earth years before the sun disappeared.
They think we can go back?
Yeah, but like we wouldn't actually do that, would we?
I don't know.
It would be a pretty stupid risk, if you ask me. It'd be pretty dumb. Like Dr. Monroe said that they don't even know if we'd wind up back in time or if we wind up in the future or anywhere else. Like we could wind up in the year 2020 or something.
Huh. Well, I guess we'll just have to see what happens.
You're not going to finish your food?
Too much salt. I'm going to go to bed. Don't stay up too late.
Okay. Mom?
Yeah.
Love you.
Love you forever, Amelia Rose.
The oldies haven't stopped looking for home, which is stupid. Because they are home. But they keep on looking. Mom says the oldies gave up a lot of power to be here. Like, apparently they had a lot of power when they were on Earth because they had a lot of stuff called money. And because they had so much money, they never really learned how to do anything. Because they just give some money to other people who would do the work. So it makes the oldies kind of useless on the ship. I mean, they try, some of them. They try to do the things, but they really don't know what they're doing. That's why they just sit around and complain. I guess that's technically doing something. It's just not helpful. Mom says things on Earth weren't like they are on the ship. That on Earth, most people who weren't oldies, the ones who actually work on the ship, they had a lot less than the others, even though they worked a lot harder. That's stupid. It doesn't even make any sense. But that's what it used to be like. So why would we want to go back if what it used to be like is shit? Mom says she hates looking out the windows of the ship because she hates seeing a universe without the sun. She says it looks empty. Just an infinite nothing all around us. Don't look like nothing to me. It looks like a lot to me. But to her, to the oldies, looks like nothing. She hates looking out these windows. It gives her the creeps, she says. But I love it. It makes me feel, I don't know, peaceful. Don't look like nothing looks like. It looks like everything. It's my everything. Our ship lights the way so we can see what's in front of us, what's to the side of us, and yeah, usually it's nothing, but also sometimes there's something. Planets and space rocks, and sometimes there are comets and other things like the Order of the Sun ship. We could see that too. Still orbiting around ours. It's not that bad. I wish you could see that. I wish Mom could see that. Maybe it would wipe the sadness away from her eyes. I don't want her to be sad. I don't want to be sad either.
Humans of the ship, a time portal has been discovered. We repeat, a time portal has been discovered. Scientists are currently working to determine its safety. Scientists are currently working to determine its risk. Scientists are currently working. Every familial unit will have a voice. Please send one adult from every family to the town hall and we will discuss. This will be discussed.
What'd they say? What'd they decide?
Amelia Rose, please, let me take my sweater off.
You've been gone for like 30 hours.
Yeah, everyone there had to have a say. Make me some tea?
But
I'll tell you, just make me some tea, please. Can you just... Okay, so...
What?
They found a time portal.
Obviously.
And there's evidence that it looks like people think that we can go back in and wind up back on Earth, back before all this started.
So?
And if we could, then there might be reason. There's a lot of evidence we might be able to go back.
Again, I must ask. So?
A lot of people want to go back. They miss it.
The dumb oldies.
That's not nice.
They just want to go back because they were all in power and stuff. They're just going to want to take it all and make it all that again.
It wasn't all bad.
Yeah, okay.
It wasn't all as bad as you've been taught.
Or was it awful? And your nostalgia goggles just make it seem not that bad.
Amelia Rose, do not talk to me like that. I am your mother.
I know, but I'm...
Thank you.
Whatever, I'm going to bed.
Don't go yet. Stay.
It's late.
You were born on the hottest day of the year. You don't even know what hot is. Not really. Not the wet, humid, bright sun beaming kind of hot. July 31st. The sun, there'd been rumors, but nobody... Your father he wasn't with me when he had to go back to work right after you were born. They wouldn't give him the time off. And what was I supposed to do?
But you were allowed on the ship because you were a nurse.
I was a secretary.
What's a secretary?
I didn't work at the hospital. I had never even been inside a hospital. I was there because of you, because of us, because you were coming and your father was going to come. And
is it because you miss him or something? Is that why you want to go back?
No.
And you think he'll be there?
No, Amelia, no. I miss him, but I don't even know him anymore. I only know him as a memory. I don't need to know anyone except me, except us. No, it's not because of him. It's because of rain. Because of rusty gates. Because of when the wind would dance through my hair. It's because of where we lived. It was called Brooklyn. And when I looked out the bedroom window, I could see 100 other windows with 200 other lives living inside of them. Clotheslines hanging out, drying clothes. Because even there, people held on to some old ways of doing things. And Brooklyn? It wasn't a forest. There weren't a lot of trees around. I used to think there weren't enough. sprouting out of the concrete. But after being here, after floating through endlessness, after never seeing trees, I can't believe I never realized how many trees there really were.
But it sounds like, I get it. It's different here. That stuff's not here. But the other stuff, the way people were, it sounds like it was so bad.
But maybe it'll be different. We can take back what we learned here.
But the oldies don't want that, Mom. They don't want this. They hate this. They talk about it all the time, how much they hate it. They want to go back because it's where they left their power. I don't think their power was anything worth getting back. It sounds like they used it to hurt people instead. If we went back to that, it's just what they'd wind up doing again.
You were so tiny, with a full head of thick black hair. I couldn't believe how much hair someone so tiny could have.
Stop, I wasn't that tiny.
Yeah, you were. And your hands. I'd memorize your hands like they were a poem, begging time to stop for even a breath.
Mom.
I don't remember that nurse's name anymore. The one who helped me escape. I barely knew her. She ran past my room. Everyone was running, but I was hooked up to machines. My whole world felt like a cloud. I couldn't think or even see straight, so I wondered if maybe I was dreaming. And I called out to the nurses, to the doctors, the people rushing past. What's going on? What's wrong? And that one nurse, she came in. Here, hurry, she said. Threw me scrubs. Put these on. I could barely move. I was so sore. I was still dripping. Put these on, hurry. And she grabbed you from my arms and my heart went with her. So I did what she told me to do. Put the scrubs on. Good now. Follow me. She gave you back to me and ran down the hall. I could barely move, but I ran. And everyone was running. People screaming and crying in halls. The sun is gone, they screamed. The sun is gone. What do we do? My husband. Have you seen my husband? Shh, she said. Follow me. And I followed her. And I kept following through the halls, upstairs, so many stairs, to the roof, to a ship. This ship. It wasn't made for me. I didn't even know they had made it. They had it hid from us, from the regular folk. Only the people in power knew. It was supposed to just be for the rich and mighty, but they realized last minute they'd need others, like farmers and chefs and doctors, nurses. She pushed me on board without telling me any of that, though. She just pushed me on board and fell off the roof.
Holy shit.
I didn't even hear her scream. I think the wind, it pushed her. And I had you, though. I had you in my arms, pressed to my chest, to my heart. And I got on this ship and I did what I had to do in order to survive. But this, all this, it isn't living. It's not. I'm alive. I'm not living. I've been holding my breath for the last 16 years, every day. Every day I wake up and do my job and make our food and talk with friends and laugh with you. But really, underneath all that, I've been waiting. I have been waiting for a moment to exhale, to breathe again. And I've tried to love this, to hold this, to find joy in the recycled air and in touching the dirt that grows our crops and eating the ice cream we make, but it doesn't even taste the same. Nothing. It's all changed. And you don't know what we had left behind. We left so much behind. I left so much and I want it back. I want it back and I want you to have it.
But I don't want it.
It might be different.
It won't be different if you want it to be the same.
I'm going to bed. Thank you for the tea.
Mom.
What?
I love you.
I love you forever, Amelia Rose.
Everything is at a standstill while everyone tries to figure out what to do. I don't even have to write in this stupid journal anymore, but there's no more classes and nobody's checking that I'm doing my homework. Now it's like I can't stop. I have so many thoughts inside me, and I think putting them into words helps me at least know what they are. It sounds stupid, I think. But, I'm afraid we're gonna go through the time portal, and I don't want to. But it's not because... I don't mind if life changes. That's, like, inevitable. And yeah, I'd really love to see the ocean and a sunset and something that isn't this, but that's not really what anyone's talking about. I think we'll lose the balance, and it sounds bad. And I can't live like that. No, I won't live like that. It just sounds evil and bad, and that shit outweighs the good, so... I've been thinking about the Order of the Sun ship. It's still out there, still circling, and I'm not sure. I'd rather see what's there, I think. There's a few mini ships. I've been learning how to get my flying license. I'm a pretty good flyer, actually. I can time it, so right before the time jump, I can fly off the ship to the abandoned ship, I think. And I think if they decide that we're gonna go, I think I'm gonna do what I've gotta do in order to survive. No, I'm gonna do what I gotta do in order to live. Yeah, no matter what. I'm gonna do what I've got it in order to live.
By majority vote, we will be jumping through the time portal. Repeat.
Has anybody, have you seen my daughter?
By majority vote, we will be jumping through the time portal. Please prepare for time portal jump.
Has anyone seen Amelia Rose?
Repeat. Please prepare for time portal jump.
Amelia Rose?
Countdown to time jump.
Mom! Over here!
What are you doing in there?
T-minus 2 minutes to jump.
I'll tell you in 2 minutes. Just get in the ship.
Amelia Rose, get out of that ship
Come
right
on,
now.
Mom, get in.
We're about to make a time jump.
I'm not going.
Yes, you are.
Come on, Mom. It's not gonna be good if we go back, because we can't go back. We can only go forward. Come with me.
It's not safe.
Neither is going back. So let's try this version of danger, please. Let's do this together.
T-minus 1 minute.
Come with me.
There's nowhere to go.
Get in the ship.
Amelia Rose.
Please come with me, please. We can figure this out together.
We can go back.
I can't. Mom, please. I can't go back.
15 seconds to jump.
Mom, please get in the ship.
10 seconds.
Get in.
9.
Mom.
8. 7. 6. 5.
Okay, then.
3.
Waiting forever.
Amelia Rose, no! No, please, don't go! Don't go! No!
Shit! Shit! Shit, Mom! Fuck! Fuck! Okay. So, this sucks. It sucks. Okay. No, I'm just... This just looks like it'll open if I use the key from ours, so... Okay, so, here we go.
Who are you?
I'm Amelia Rose. The fuck are you?
Thank you for listening to This Is Where We Go. You've just listened to episode 4. This is Where She Goes, written by Gina Femia, featuring Lindsay Rico as Amelia Rose, Teresa Avia Lim as Jane and Illi, Bunny Michael as AI and Izta. Sound design by Espii Proctor, Rachel Brees, and Emilie Wiebel. Technical direction by Business Lunch Productions. Sound engineering by Ricky Berotti and DiCola. Recorded at Red Convertible Recording. Manager of Artistic Production with MCC Theater, Ayanna Parker Morrison. Manager of Artistic Development with MCC Theater, Michaela Rodriguez. Artistic Associate and Writer's Room Facilitator with the Parsnip Ship, Al Parker. Dramaturg and Writers Room Facilitator with the Parsnip Ship, Gabriella Steinberg. Produced by MCC Theater. Artistic Directors Bob LuPone, Bernie Telsey, and Will Cantler. Executive Director Blake West. In association with the Parsnip Ship, Artistic Director Iyvon Edebiri, and Business Lunch Productions. Hi.
Hi.
Gina. Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I am good. I am so excited to be talking with you about your play, your contributions as a writer to This Is Where We Go. And can you let folks know which episode you wrote?
Yes, absolutely. I wrote episode 4, which is called This Is Where She Goes. And I co-wrote episode 1, Up Next Dogs, with Jesse.
Amazing. I just love what's up next dogs. It's so funny.
Yes.
It's so funny. I just keep thinking about it. So Parsnip, we have been collaborating with you for some time. You're one of the first writers in our Radio Roots Writers Group, which is a group writing for audio theater specifically and radio plays. And we also recorded Mermaid's Parade in May 2018, I think.
Yes.
Such a while ago, and it was another lifetime. And here we are. And you wrote a play with 3 other wonderful writers, Nina Key, Amara Brady, and Jesse Rivera de Bruin, for this 6-part anthology. And I would just want to know, what was that experience like?
Yeah. I've never written co-written a play or play series before. So I didn't know what to expect, which was really actually freeing and exciting. I feel like Parsnip Ship really set us up so well with how to write specifically for audio versus trying to fit a play into an audio format, which I think there's a significant difference there.
Right.
And so I was really able to just dive into at least like how do sounds and non-visuals carry a story forward, which was awesome. And I really love that this was sci-fi, because I think that just enhances that, because we really can dive and allow listeners' imagination to take hold and go forward. So I think that really helped us as writers try to like break down boundaries of break down limits of what storytelling can be. So we were able to really come up with something that I think was really exciting, like the sun disappearing, seeing how all these different people that we created or aliens that we created deal with that fact. And really, I think bounced off of one another and was inspired by one another at every stage versus just the pieces that we wrote. So it was really exciting.
I love that. It was an incredibly collaborative effort, and a lot of give and take from all of you as writers, which I know could be so difficult and quite challenging. But y'all pulled it together so beautifully. And one of the things that was decided in the room and figuring out what these episodes would look like was, y'all each wanted to have ownership of a character and tell that character's story in that point of view. And your character is Amelia Rose.
Yes.
And tell us about Amelia Rose and what inspired this character, the creation of this character.
Yeah. So I wanted to create a human character, and I wanted to create a teenager, because I really do think that teenagers are often misrepresented in media. They're not shown as smart and articulate and mind bending as they are. And going back to the theme that was chosen, which revolves around change, I feel like teenagers are the most adaptable because they have less of a grip on what should be. They're still trying to figure it out, and they're still creating their own types of worlds and own, they're just they're moving through the world in a much different way than I think adults do, which is adults try to hold things tightly and get scared when they change. Whereas I think and I think that's a very capitalist patriarchal construct that's been passed down to all of us. And I think that's not the way that humans should live, but I think it's the way that humans have learned to live. But, let's break it. And so that's why I wanted to create a teenage character.
And Amelia Rose is from Brooklyn. Her family is from Brooklyn. Yes. And why is that so, Gina?
So I am also from Brooklyn. I have raised here, right here. And I think that's another thing that gets misrepresented a lot because, while the girls kind of storyline, which I think is the prevalent kind of storyline of affluent white people who move here, it doesn't show a full picture of people who live here and people who I find it, especially during this pandemic time where a lot of people have left. I don't have anywhere to go.
Right.
This is where I live. So when I see people, if I were to leave, I would go somewhere where I would start anew, much like how people come here to start anew. But I'm more interested in telling stories about people who this was their home. And so whenever I have the opportunity to just put that into anything that I write, I do. And so that's why, even though the bulk of this play takes place on a spaceship, it's what the mother character of Jane wants to go back to, what she knew, which is this home of Brooklyn. And of course, her teenage daughter, who's born and raised and lives on this spaceship, this is all she knows. So going back wouldn't be going back for her, it would be starting anew. Which again, she wants to start anew. She doesn't want to go back to the way things were in any facet. So
I love that. Also a Brooklyn girl. So I always love the shout out to Brooklyn that you give your characters in your plays. And for you, personally, what was important that you put into, that you write into your specific episode? This is where she goes.
It was really important. I feel like during the pandemic, which I think, we started writing this during the pandemic. So much of it is influenced not only by the actual, my episode, I don't think really deals with the actual disease of COVID, but what it's forced us to reckon with as a society of people. And I think there's a lot of people want to go back to the way that things were. And I don't think we should be striving for that at all. I think that we should actually be striving to dismantle systems and create something anew. And so it was really important for me to put that prevalent or that mindset into the story to explore it. And I think that it comes from people who, what I wanted to do was create different mindsets of people on the ship. So we have the oldies, who are people who were the 1% back on Earth, and they want to go back because they want to regain power. They want their money back because being on the ship, there's actually not a need for it. So they don't have the same power. There's a lot more equilibrium, a lot more equality. So they want things to go back so that they can regain that power. Whereas Jane wants to go back to the way that things were because that's what was comfortable and that's what she knows. And I don't think that either of those mindsets are ones that are useful to strive for. And so it was really important for me to have a character in Amelia Rose who's giving all of those, the opposite of all of that, so that she can go and create something anew. And I think that does require sacrifice, but I think it's a sacrifice worth having versus just going back to the way things were. I don't think that's a useful thing.
Right. Right. I love that. I mean, this play was inspired by a quote from Octavia Butler's Parable of the Sower, which is about change, and that it's the one, essentially, it's the one constant that we have. And inevitably, we all have to lean into it, especially in 2020, which has been, wow, a year of unprecedented change.
Yes.
Unprecedented and daily change. And this episode is, coming out after the election, the presidential election. And we're about to have a new administration. And I'm trying to figure out what the question here is. I think there's something about, I'm wondering did you think about your characters when, or this story when you heard that, Biden and Harris had won? What did you think about change in that moment, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely was thinking about this play, these characters, because I think when my fear is that people see Biden win, which I'm thrilled that Biden and Harris are in office. I'm excited by what that administration is going to do, but I don't want it to be the same thing that we've known. I don't want things to go back. I want it to continue to push forward. So I'm thinking more in line of Amelia Rose, I think we should definitely continue and keep putting pressure on this administration as they move forward. I don't want them to go back into status quo. I want it to be more progressive. I don't want it to be what it was. And I'm thrilled. With that said, I'm thrilled that Trump is out of office and that he has to deal with the fact of losing. And I hope that a lot of what he put into place is undone by this administration, but I want them to go a step further. Right. I want them to go a step further always. I want them to abolish the electoral system. I want to wonder, is an election the way that we should be doing things? I want capitalism to be looked at in the country. I don't think we could put all of that pressure on 4 years of one person, right. But I want those conversations to be started and to move forward. Right. Because I think the sad truth of it is a lot of these systems that people are participating in are actually actively dismantling their souls. And I don't want that. I don't want to be part of it. And I think that there is a way that we can change it. So I'm very much in line with Amelia Rose and her mindset, and was very much thinking about all of these things when they got elected. I was very happy, but I'm very much we need to continue to push in order to see actual change.
Yeah. I love that. And so at some point, all of our characters actually meet in episode 6. Mm-hmm. And so with Amelia Rose, knowing that was going to happen at some point, what did you feel was important for us as listeners to know about her family, and how that relates to her own hero's journey?
Mm-hmm. I definitely wanted her to start in her episode in a very kind of pugnacious place, a little bit whiny rebel, and by the end of her episode make a really drastic choice, which does cost a lot of sacrifice. Mm-hmm. And I didn't want her to be and now she's fine, I wanted it her to deal with the repercussions of the decision that she had to make. And so that when she did meet everybody else, she's her own person, but she's also still figuring it out. And I wanted her to really, be able to continue to step into her own, which I think that she does by the end of this series arc. Mm-hmm. When she does meet everybody. And I think I also, she doesn't want necessarily a new son to be created because she doesn't want things to go back, but she can be moved into understanding how there can be something else anew and work with other people. Well, at that point, it's 2 aliens and 1 person from a different timeline.
Yeah.
So yeah, I also wanted her to be like, this is chill, this is cool.
No big deal. Time portals exist.
Yes.
Doesn't exist either. That's cool. That's so great. And was there a favorite moment in this process of writing that you had, or any, aha moments as a writer?
Yeah. So I think the most exciting thing was actually co-writing the first episode with Jessie, and the way that whole process transformed. The first draft was very dry and boring, I think, because we were so, concerned about putting a lot of like exposition in, setting up the rest of the episodes. And the first time we heard everything all together, we realized, oh, actually, like everybody sets up their own episodes, which was like kind of hard to like know until we heard. And then we were like, oh yeah, of course, that's exactly what everybody was supposed to do. So they did. And when we were talking to Tamala and getting notes from her, she really encouraged us to think of it more as like a prequel in the beginning. And she said, this is, what if it's the fact that like the asteroid's about to hit Earth and nobody cares, which really resonated with me and Jessie, because we were like, that's literally how society is acting a lot of the time. Like just like trying to keep things moving forward, trying to keep it like going forward. And so once she said that, Jessie and I were really able to like just be free and cracked each other up and really like made it funny. And it was just like a real like joy. We actually, I don't want to speak for Jessie, but I do think that we said to one another multiple times how much fun it was to write that episode together, particularly when we like had that revelation where we were really able to just like take it a step further. And really it was, the humor just like came, and we were cracking each other up like in the moment, like writing together. And like Jessie would like, I read something that they wrote and I like still remember, like I was just like actively laughing just reading it on the page. So yeah, it was great.
Oh my God, I'm like tearing up because it's so just so great to hear that. Especially during such like crazy times. It's really just great to hear that y'all had fun. And y'all cracked each other up, and like that's what we need in the world. And I know we talked about this many times, but episode 1 is so fucking funny, and I love it, and I can't wait for everyone to hear it.
Yes, same.
It's so great. It's so great. Okay, so last 2 questions.
Great.
Okay, I usually ask this at the top of an episode if we were doing this live. We've been asked this before, but what would the world be missing if it didn't have this play?
I think, it would be missing some huge imagination. I think that it's really, to pat ourselves on our backs. It is like really great, we all were able to get our voices and our own unique stories into this huge story of the sun disappearing. And I think that we really show like our own hearts, and together it shows a whole range of human emotion. I think like you can find yourself in the whole collective, but I think people will be able to like find specific facets of themselves in different stories, which I think is super exciting. And it's sci-fi. Like I don't know why stage theater seems like not as chill when it comes to like magical realism, science fiction. They're kind of like, I don't know about this. But I think like an audio drama, literally, if you can't have an imagination experience, then I think that's the limit of your own imagination versus what is put down into the play itself. So I think like, that's really exciting. And let's listen to it. Close your eyes and just imagine.
Yes. Oh my God, Gina, words out of my mouth. Yes, that is literally what people need to do, is close their eyes and just imagine and listen to the story. And I wholeheartedly agree with you that there, in each story, there is a point or a feeling or emotion or something that you can anchor yourself to and really resonate with.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, and with your story and Amelia Rose, especially during a pandemic, the oldies, that's real. And especially as we enter a new administration full of oldies, in a way, like, it is important for us to all be Amelia Roses.
Yes.
Come January 20th at noon. Even
Absolutely.
before then. But like, we all need to become Amelia Roses and make sure that we're pushing for not going back. Because we can't. It won't ever be the same. Anyway.
Right. Exactly.
It's quite futile to try and go back. We can rectify, but also progress.
Exactly. Yes.
Yes. And then, okay, so last question, super, super easy. What did you have for breakfast this morning?
This morning, I am so tired of making decisions that I like short-circuited, and all I had was a Nutrigrain bar. Because I was like, if I have to like think about making eggs or cereal, I'm just gonna grab this bar and eat it. And of course, I had some coffee as well.
Love it. Love a good Nutrigrain and coffee.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much, Gina.
Thank you, Iyvon. This was awesome. And thank you for making this happen and everything that you make happen in the theater world. Like, you're the real rock star here, in my opinion.
No, it's because I get to hang out with rock stars like y'all. Y'all are the rock stars of my heart. And I am so, so, so honored to, again, have collaborated with you over time, and you are such a dear friend. And like, you're one of my favorite playwrights, and like, I love this story and I love this writing, and I can't wait for everyone to listen in, tell people, subscribe, download, share it with the world. This play, all 6 parts, need to be heard and experienced, and we're encouraging you all to. So thank you again, Gina.
Thank you.
And thank you, everyone. Have a great day.
Yes, thank you.
This is